fuck, I fucked up my opening timing. Well, great start already. We've got the first ORAS game of SPL. Very hype. CrashinBoomBang making his return against French ORAS prodigy Mounts. So, we see two Keldeos in this battle, and no other shared Pokemon. Cool. CVV's got some balanced, bulky offense stuff because he falls back on Amogus defensively, and Zapdos is generally used defensively as well, as opposed to in SM where it sometimes goes on the offensive. But yeah, he's got the hard hitters. He's got the very, very broken Mega Metagross. Okay, it's not like broken, but it's pretty stupid. Mounts has two checks to it though. He's got Mega Scizor and Gastrodon, which I assume is physically defensive. Actually, it doesn't have to be because he's got Latios and Torn. Now, if Torn is Life Orb, then it's not really a Keldeo check, so it doesn't really count as a secondary helping out thing. But um, still, so I assume T-Tar's banned. Um, Keldeo could be well, no. Keldeo can't be Scarf because otherwise, well, no, Keldeo can be Scarf if Garchomp is Rocky Helmet because that would handle Bisharp. But I don't think that CBB would run Rocky Helmet Garchomp. He probably wants offense. So, um, thing is that I think he does. He could have rocks Mega Metagross, so that's fair. That's not common, but I have seen it on occasion. And he has been known to not have rocks on his team before. Of course, Tornadus is like the worst Pokemon possible to face when you don't have Stealth Rock up. But he's got Tyranitar because fighting moves are not very common on Torn, so Band Pursuit really, really stings it. And Zapdos, which counters the shit out of it. Let's see. So Amoonguss spores something, which sucks because Sleep Talk Latios is very, very rare. And we see a Tornadus leadoff against Garchomp. HP Ice, possible. Oh, it's Scarf Toxic. Okay. He gets Hurricane, so could it be Scarf Toxic? No, not HP. My bad. Yeah, so it should be Scarf. He's going to U-turn out, or no, he's going to knock off. And there goes Zapdos lefties. It is leftovers, so that Garchomp got fucking chunked. No fear of HP Ice. He really wants that poison. I wonder what he was trying to get there by toxing the Tornado so fiercely. I guess Garchomp, since its Scarf, is not really very useful, so I mean, if he can get it, sure. But I was a little surprised. Roost on Gastrodon, which counters it very nicely, and could Scald Burns come in? Here comes Torn. I wouldn't be surprised to see Discharge, yeah, because he was afraid of the Amoonguss switch. So CBB gets him early, but he's not down yet. He goes back to Gastrodon, and here comes the Amoonguss now. Of course, Tornadus being poisoned actually means that Amoonguss can't spore, so it's not even that bad. But he doubles into Garchomp. He's got his rhythm going. So, could he set up rocks here? Because I don't think it's going to be Toxic Fire move Scarf Chomp. I mean, Scizor is a pretty safe-looking switch. There go the rocks. Latios could defog, but that's also inviting Sevitar to get him in. So, or to get in and pursuit it. Of course, if he gets his own rocks up with Heatran, then Zapdos doesn't immediately defog those. And it not having leftovers helps out a lot in that regard. Here come the rocks, here comes Discharge looking for the para. And that double Discharge was nice because Gastrodon doesn't immediately threaten. But I think that may have been a little too aggressive. There's a Toxic Miss. That flows. I think Gastrodon might be a better move here because it assuming it's physical defense, it handles Sevitar better and doesn't mess with any defog stuff. Of course, that Toxic Mist does blow a lot. Or it doesn't mess with any Discharge Paralysis stuff. Here comes Chomp. And he also dodges Toxic. Scizor is still a safe switch, and his, now that it is Life Orb Torn, then, yup, he's double switching to that on Scizor. That's the biggest flaw of Scizor. and that's why Keldeo is so good alongside Mega Metagross. Since Latios is just going to get pursued brutally, and Focus Blast specs Keldeo, blows Gastrodon away. If he has Focus Blast, I think he goes for it here. Nope, Roost, and Mounts makes a good move, staying into Roost. Scout the move. So he's just going to Sword away. Roost again. Fearless. Zapdos 82 before Rocks. Because he doesn't really have a good Secret Sword switch in. And, I mean, in theory, if in a world without crits, then he could just Swords Dance up and win this, but I would not want to play with Fate like that. And if he takes a Secret Sword and U-turns out, then Metagross starts... Well, if Gastrodon has physical defense, then it's not really an issue. Here comes Amoonguss, and he gets U-turned, so he was not fearing that at all. It's Helmet, that's interesting. Here comes Torn. With Life Orb, even with the poison, Torn is a threat. Between the combination of Heat Wave, which smacks Metagross switch in, I feel like he might just sack Garchomp here. Nope, he's going right to Zapdos, not fearing the Life Orb Heat Wave. And Superpower. I think Life Orb Heat Wave might have a chance to kill. Because Zapdos generally does not run special defense EVs. But wait, did it use U-turn? It didn't, so it might be 4 attacks. That was just going right to Gastrodon. I don't think he can really abuse the lack of leftovers here. A Sludge Bomb would take him out. Nope, he's being safe. I think he just... I think a double switch here is kind of in order, and CBB cannot get cute with this Amoonguss, because if Amoonguss goes down, then Mounts' Keldeo becomes a serious threat. The question is what the Latios set is as well. So here comes Keldeo, and there's Zapdos. Zapdos, see, this is the issue with Zapdos. Sometimes, I think it's an awesome Pokemon, but the worst is when your anti-Rocks thing is weak to Rocks and gets double switched on and then gets forced out. So, Hydro, Specs, that is a... Well, something dies here. Chomp was not really that useful, but that is a bulky, and, the lack of leftovers is showing here. So, we got ourselves a game. If Zapdos had eaten Toxic, that would have been Torn becomes more threatening. I don't think it changes anything at this point, but down the line, we'll see. Especially because, well, no, I'm bullshitting. It's not the only check to Scizor. But, so ignore that. Yeah, I think the, the double on, from Gastrodon versus Zapdos the first time, it was a good move, but it was a little... There were a lot of factors that could lead to CBB staying in there and discharging. And in that case, then... it's not like if you just go for a Scald or Earthquake on Amoonguss, then it was bad, because he had the full health Poison Tornadus. So, I mean, the Toxic turn 1 certainly is helping, since it's cutting into Torn's longevity big time. Here comes Tyranitar. Are we going to see Latios? We do. The thing is, after this Latios dies, Keldeo comes in again and kills something again. Well, there's Defog, which helps Torn, and doesn't really help Mounts. He's going to be 33. He's going to be at 60 after regen. So here comes Keldeo again. What's going down this time? I guess Trantar isn't really useful for much else. His other Pokemon can handle Heatran. And it doesn't really... I mean, it'd be nice to, you know, throw some Banded Crunches at Gastrodon, but... Oh, it's Scarfed! And the Latios was Scarfed as well. I just assume Bantar because it's very common these days. So he's got Scarf Tar and Scarf Chomp. That's something. Who the fuck did mention me? Leave me alone. Unless it's that girl who's been telling me she doesn't want to go out with me. She's telling me that she's changed her mind. Nope, of course it wasn't. Oh, one day, fellas. Anyway, so Physical D, Gastro, Special D. I mean, I can see the uses of it, but I'm just not really on board with them very much. Like, it helps a lot with Diancie, which is, you know, a terrifying Pokemon. And when you've got Tornadus without Iron Tail, and even with Iron Tail, obviously, but if you've got Tornadus, then you really, really want that thing covered. He's gonna soar. He's gonna pump away. I think he's going for the late game Scizor win, and he gets a little lucky with that tie. Here comes Torn. Zap coming in once more. I wonder if that was... 20 seconds under for Mounts. Here comes Zapdos. Hurricane with Life Orb does nothing. Maybe that Zapdos has more speed up than I assumed. "10 seconds. I mean, wow, that Toxic not hitting is really biting him in the ass now. But what is good for Mounts is that this little Gastrodon Amoonguss thing isn't bad, because the way he threatens... Uh-oh, that was why! Why? That was so unnecessary. That was so unnecessary. Because, look, Amoonguss comes in on Gastrodon all the live long day, right? And then Tornadus comes in on that, and, oh. No para. Rocks up. But yeah, the point is that he's afraid now he gets hit by the Toxic. So, I don't know if I agree with that. The point is that Gastrodon hits Amoonguss on the switch, and every double that CBB can make to threaten the Tornadus is covered by, fucking, what's it called? One of his other Pokemon. So that Heatran just got wasted for that. I mean, it's going to start to curse, which is, you know, great, awesome. And now we can actually spam Earthquake very nicely. So that's something, but it's not going to hurt the Amoonguss. And, actually, he did exactly what Regen does, and if he uses Giga Drain, then good move there. But see, this is what I was talking about. Gastrodon just comes in over and over and over, and the rocks are gone. So, he could have gotten rocks on Amoonguss at some point, is the point. Yeah. So he does have Sludge Bomb, so he can't do this forever. But yeah, Metagross gets handled by Scizor, and that's U-Turn City. And he does have Heat Wave. He held that in really nicely. Let's see, Zapdos Roost count only at 11. Or, at a whopping 11. Well, Curse Gastrodon, certainly... I mean, you can't do this forever, I guess. See, Heatran just would have been amazing here. I don't know. I mean, the Toxic Miss earlier seriously hurt, but there's no pretending like that couldn't have been done better. I don't understand why he's letting him do this so easily, too. I mean, Tornadus is actually losing this, like, very, very quickly. I assume he has Scald. Scald would be a better move to go for here. Okay, so Scizor. Okay, so he scouts out the HP Fire. Yeah, I mean, imagine if he had Rocks here. He's... I don't know, man. This could have been done a lot better. That was a nice move. That was nice. But if Scizor starts to go down, then Metagross becomes a massive, massive threat. He doesn't even U-turn. That's a nice move. And he gets bombed again. He's not stalling him out of sludge bombs, man. This is looking like CBB's game. Sacking Keldeo, good move there. Because if Torn killed, then wow, so it is Focus Blast after all. Great move. Spadef Gastro is better against it, but still doesn't really want to switch in. And now Metagross is... I mean, no, Gastrodon helps, but it's still the same helpless situation as before. I don't think it's Pursuit Mega Metagross. Generally Tyranitar is enough, especially if it's Scarf. But Hammer Arm, I mean, he doesn't even need to hit the Gastrodon particularly hard, because I assume it just doesn't have Scald or something, which would have helped Amoonguss out. So it's just pretty much game at this point, because Amoonguss can spam Sludge Bomb 6,000 more times, and he's just going to win that way, so... Life Orb Heat Wave doesn't take him out, and now Gastrodon is going to lose to Amoonguss. So, this is a good one, but I was not on board with a lot of the stuff that happened. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will get you next time.